I got expelled for hitting the superintendent's son. Before you decide I'm the villain, let me tell you what he did to my sister first. I was walking to third period the day I finally understood how untouchable Cole really was. He tripped a kid carrying a full lunch tray, and when the boy hit the floor, a teacher came running. Then saw who did it, mumbled something about boys being boys, and walked away. No detention, no note home, nothing. Cole's father had funded half the new gym, and everyone in that building knew whose name was on the wall. He could do anything, and he knew it. My little sister Maya had just transferred in. She was a freshman, painfully shy, the kind of quiet that makes you want to protect it. I'd promised our parents I'd watch out for her. Her first week, she'd wave at me across the hallway with this huge, relieved smile, and it made me feel like everything would be fine. Then, Cole noticed her. I was at my locker when I heard her books hit the floor. I looked over and saw Maya on her knees, papers scattered, while Cole stood over her with his arms crossed, grinning like she was there to entertain him. I sprinted over. Stay away from her. He looked me up and down and yawned. Or what? Tell the principal I'll be back in class before you finish crying to him. He patted my cheek and strolled off laughing. I stood there shaking because I knew the truth. If I touched him, I'd be the one expelled. I went to the principal anyway. Cole's been harassing my sister. He leaned back and sighed like I was the inconvenience. Cole comes from a very important family. You'd be smart to let this go. When I said Maya hadn't done anything, he looked at me like I was the problem. It's not your place to question how we handle him. So Cole kept going and no one stopped him. One afternoon, I turned a corner and froze. He had Maya backed against the lockers, his face inches from hers, and she was shaking. When he saw me, he held up one finger like I should wait my turn. Relax, just talking to my friend. He winked at her. See you tomorrow. As he passed, he bumped my shoulder. You can't touch me. Nobody can. Maya slid down to the floor after he left. She stopped eating that week. I found her hiding in the library one day, her head buried in her arms, and when she looked up, her eyes were swollen. I want to go back to my old school, she whispered. Please, I can't do this. That night, I showed my mom every email to the school that had been ignored, and I told her everything. Her face went very still. I'm calling the district tomorrow. I begged her. Give me one more chance to handle it. She studied me for a long moment. One more chance. The next morning, I planted myself outside Maya's math class. Cole came strolling down the hall, hands in his pockets, whistling. He saw me and smiled slow. Ah, playing bodyguard? Cute. I didn't move. This ends today, he laughed. Or what? Hit me? Go ahead. You'll be expelled before lunch and she'll be all alone with me. The bell rang. Maya stepped out, saw him, and went pale. Cole's eyes lit up. Watch this. He shoved me into the wall, grabbed the strap of her backpack, and yanked her backward. She slammed into the lockers and I heard her head hit the metal. She dropped, dazed, holding her skull. I was on him before I knew I'd moved. One punch. He went down hard and lay there, stunned, because no one in his whole life had ever touched him. Then he started screaming for teachers. The principal shoved through the crowd, looked at me like I was a monster, and dragged us both to the office. Cole's father arrived within the hour, red-faced, promising to end my family. Then my mom walked in, terrifyingly calm. She let him scream himself hoarse. Then she set a folder on the desk. Every ignored email, the counselor's notes, my daughter's doctor's report, and I've already requested the hallway footage through my attorney. She leaned in, so put it in writing. Why a 14-year-old girl was assaulted for weeks while this office protected a donor's son. Or we do it in front of a judge. Dead silence. The principal stared at the floor. Cole's father grabbed him by the collar and hauled him out so fast he tripped over his own feet. Cole transferred that month. I heard he tried the same thing at his new school. Turns out someone else's brother wasn't as patient as I'd been.